Hi Sally, this is your little exercise routine to get you going whilst you are in Australia with your lovely daughter. So we've got several exercises we're going to do, just count them up. We're going to do a little bit of stretching, we're going to do a little bit of leg work, we're going to do a little bit for the chest and the upper body and some core work. Shouldn't take more than about 15 minutes. I'm not going to do every single exercise for the full entirety that I want you to do it for. It's just as a guideline to get you going. So what I will do is I'll email you the list as well, so you can decide which way around you think is the easiest way to follow it. Let me know how you get on with it, okay? So first of all, to start off with, we're going to do roll downs. Then we're going to do your hip flexor stretch that we do. You're going to have your band with you, so we'll do some side to side work with the band. We're also going to do some squats and some lunges where you will use a chair. I've got a handy roller that I'm going to use, so you've got something to hold on to give you a bit of balance. Then we'll do some press ups, some plank, some core exercise with the dead bug. Then we'll do some stretching with the crucifix. We'll use the band again for the hamstring stretch. And then we'll do an upright press up to help stretch out your chest, which you normally do against the stairs. And we'll also then do the calf stretch, which you normally do again on the stairs. Okay, so to start, we just do the roll down. So Sally, first of all, what I want you to do, and the idea is that you can stop and start this video anytime you want to, so you stop it to do the number of exercises that you need to do. I'll explain how many of those I want you to try and aim for. Obviously, if you have less time or less energy, you do fewer. If you have a bit more time or a bit more energy, you can either do the whole thing through twice, or you can just do a few more of the exercises that you've got to do. Okay, so you can kind of judge it and see what you want to do. But that's what the pause button is for. So we stand with our feet, as you always do, underneath your hips, pointing forwards. So there's maybe a few inches in between each foot, and you just pull in the core, so you brace your core, tuck your hip under a little bit, connect your glutes, roll your shoulders back and down, and we're going to do 3 roll downs. So you know how to do this. You tuck the chin in and you just track your head down your body towards the floor. Keep your knees soft and allow yourself to collapse all the way down to the floor. Once you're down here, you relax and you allow yourself to breathe in for a moment, and then you roll up again. So we're keeping our knees soft, and each time we do it, we pull in the core, we connect the glutes, and we push our feet flat into the floor. And then at the top we roll the shoulders back and down, and we simply roll back down again. And each time we roll down, we try and connect the hamstrings a little bit more. So we're trying to wake them up just a little bit more by allowing our knees to straighten a tiny bit more each time. And then roll back up. And then on this third one, if you want to, you can stay down on the floor. So you just roll yourself down, try and keep your bottom tucked under for as long as you can. And you just roll yourself down, and this time try and keep your knees as straight as you can without locking them. So don't let them lock out. Keep them straight, just look up through your legs, so you're just hanging down. Let your hands drop down to wherever they will, and just relax down. So you really tuck your chin in, look up through your legs, and try and stretch the back of your neck and down into your spine. And just hold it here. And you can stay here for 2 or 3 breaths if you want to. When you're ready, you roll back up again, you pull in the core, you press your feet flat into the floor. So I'm barefoot today. Well, I've got socks on, but I've got no shoes on. You can do this in trainers, you can do this barefoot. It really depends on where you are and what you're comfortable in working out in. Now, your hip flexor stretch, I would recommend that you hold on to something. So a chair or something like that, just to give you a little bit of balance, okay? I'm going to use my roller because I'm in my bedroom, so I haven't got a chair that I can hold on to. And you just take that long step back, like we do at your house. You take that long step back, you're nice and stable. The heel is up at the back, the heel at the front is pushing down into the floor. You bend your front knee, you bend your back knee a little bit if you can, and you lean back. So we lean away. So we pull in the core, we connect the glute at the back, and we lean back. So this leg gets a really big stretch, and you hold it here for a couple of breaths. And then you just step in, and you step the other leg long without standing with your slippers. And you just then bend this front knee, bend the back knee a little bit, the back heel is up, and then you lean back. So you feel that stretch happening in that thigh at the front, in that thigh on the back leg. So you get that really lovely front of thigh stretch. and then you come back in, and you're going to repeat that for me. So you're going to pause the button and then repeat that again at least one more time. So you do it twice through, please, so that we're really stretching out into your hip flexors, because I do think a lot of your tension is carried there. So you can do that twice. Then you're going to get your band. I haven't got one with me because they're in the car. You're going to tie it so your feet are a little bit outside your hips. You tie the band around your feet, probably twice if you can, and then we're going to sidestep for approximately 30 seconds. So you're sidestepping as much as you can for a count of 30 seconds. Really, you want to do it to make sure that you're getting into the side hips, into your, the smaller muscles in your glutes, to really feel those muscles starting to wake up. So you pull in the core and you just step in sideways like you feel your pants have fallen down, and away we go. Okay, so you just keep doing that, and we'll just do it for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then if you want to just do a couple more, you can, and you undo them or kick them off. You are going to need that band again. Your glutes should now be a little bit on fire. They should be burning a little bit and be nice and warm. And that's what we want. We want to be able to feel your glutes so that we know we've activated them. Now we're going to do some squats, and then we're going to move into lunges. Now I'm going to use this to lean on, because I want you to try and stay as upright as you can, because you're not going to have your TRX straps, and that's what we normally use when we're at yours. Okay, so you've got a chair. You might have the back of a chair, you might have the back of a sofa. It needs to be something that's fairly sturdy, that you're not going to pull over. So not a light chair, but maybe an armchair, the back of that, or the end of the bed, or something like that. And you're just here, and all I want you to do is have your feet a little bit wider. You're leaning on that, and then you're just going to sit down and push up. So you sit down and you push up. So you're trying to stay as upright as you can and keep your knees behind your toes all the time. So you switch on your glutes, you switch on your core, you pull your belly muscle in, and you pop the hips forward at the top, like so. That's it. The other option, if one of your grandchildren has a ball, like a football or something like that, what you can do, I'm going to show you with the roller, is you put it against the wall, and you put it against here, in the small of your back. You lean against it, so you lean quite hard against it so it can't move. You walk your feet forward just a little bit so that you're sort of at an angle, and then you slide down the wall and you slide back up again. You slide down the wall and you slide back again. So this is much more mirroring what we do on the TRX straps. Okay, so you sit right down and you come down into that 90-degree angle, so your body stays upright all the time. You push down, don't let your bottom sit back, you tuck your bottom underneath and push it back up again. You don't go below 90 degrees, and you come back up, and you're going to do about 20 of those. Okay, so just practicing those for me. So do about 20 of those if you can, either with the ball against a wall, or if your daughter has a roller, even a short one, you could use that just like I did, or like I say, with your hands here. Now for the lunge, we use either the roller or the edge of a chair. It doesn't need to be as strong as some, because you're not going to pull it over. It's more just for a bit of light balance. You take that leg back, you lift up the heel. Okay, so you're lifting the heel at the back. Take that leg back, you lean back away a little bit, and we just drop down and we push up 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do 5, you're going to do 15. Once you've done your number, you step in, you take the other leg back, and you can move this over to the other side if that feels more comfortable, and then you drop down and you push up. Please make sure the heel at the back is not turning in, it's out and it's straight. 3, 4, and 5. You're again going to try and do 15, and then you step in. If you need to step in and out, so you drop down and do 1 and step in, then you can do that. That is an alternative, and it does make the legs work in a slightly different way. So that is a good alternative to try and do. The next move that we're going to do, we're going to come down to the floor. I'm going to bring you down towards the floor with me. down here. I'm going to come over here. Sorry about the slight disturbance in the video. So you've rolled down. So you do your roll down like you did at the beginning. And we're going to come into our box press. So we're here in our box press like so. And you make sure that your hands are wider. So here's underneath my shoulders. There's wider. My head is in front. And I drop forward and I push up. I drop forward and I push up. So from the side, make sure that your head stays in front. So my head disappears off the screen so that you can see I'm doing a clean box press. Like so. And then as you get stronger, you can take your legs further back and come down more like this. But you're still, my head is still being chopped off the screen. Okay? So you make sure that all the time your box press is happening really neatly. And when you've had enough, you just push back and take that stretch. Be mindful, I know, of your knees. Okay. Let me grab your book so I can see what else we're doing. There we go. So next, we're going to come into our plank position. So we've done this before. You've done plank with me before, so you know what to do. You're going to come down onto an elbow. You make sure that they're underneath your shoulders. And you take one foot back and take the other foot back. And you're going to hold it here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're going to bring the knees down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And come down again. And you're going to repeat that 4 times through. 4 times through. If you can. I can't count. We know that. So you're going to try and do that at least 4 times through. But again, if you only want to do it once or twice, just do it once or twice. It depends on how much time you have, my lovely. Okay? Now, assuming that the only equipment you've taken with you is your band, which hopefully you'll just chuck in the bottom of your handbag, all I've done is enough exercises that you can use body weight and the band, and that should be enough. Okay? So this next one, these are all things we've done before. You're coming round onto your bottom for me. So make sure I'm far enough away that you can see me. You're going to come cleanly to the floor. So we can use our hands and roll down, or you can just place your hands underneath your legs just to give yourself that little bit of extra support. And then, my darling, what I want you to do is hands flat to the floor. Make sure your belly is pulled down, your back is flat. We lift one foot up, we lift the other foot up. And then we're just going to do our dead bug. So you're either going to have your hands palms up, or you can have your hands up here. And you're just going to take one leg away, and then 2, and then 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 9, and 10. You can take a rest if you need to. If you don't need to, you come back up. And I'm going to try both legs. So just take them a little bit higher. 1, 2. So test how low your legs can go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, pulling the back down to keep the back flat, don't let it lift. 2 more for me, don't let the back lift up, pull the belly in, last one, and 10. And then just have that little rock and just pull the legs in. So I've got my hands underneath my knees because I know your knees don't really like being pulled down. Ideally we pull down like so, but that puts a bit much pressure on, so we're just here. And you just rock gently. And then what you might do, if you have enough energy, is you might do an alternate 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And repeat that 4 or 5 times for me. And you notice my hands are on my legs. If I have my hands on my legs and I push my legs away, it makes my core work a little bit harder. So you can use that as an extra option as well. Okay? Now we're going to move into the little stretch sequence. So you can see it's a very, very short routine. It's not going to take you long to do. All I want you to do for this little stretch is we're going to take our feet flat on the floor or toes on the floor, and you're just going to take one leg up and over, and then just turning your head away, take your legs towards one direction. You turn your head in the other direction. So I've taken my legs to the left, and then I just allow them to relax down, and I place my hand on my knee, and I just encourage that knee towards the floor, and I turn my head away as much as I can. So I've got a really nice twist happening, and I'm going to hold it here for a couple of breaths, and then I'm going to come in and up, keep my feet flat on the floor, turn my leg over the top across my legs, and then over I go, and just turn away. Now one shoulder wants to lift up more than the other. I try not to let it, so I do a little bit of wriggling, lifting my head, turn my head, and just see if I can just increase that stretch a little bit more. Place my hand on my knee again to try and encourage that stretch to happen. So that will stretch out into my glutes a little bit more, so I get a nice stretch happening in the lower half of my back and down into my bottom. And that just helps to increase that stretch. And you might do that 2 or 3 times on each side. Really just depends on when you're doing the routine and how much stretch you need. You're going to come back into the middle when you've finished with crucifix. You're going to take one leg long to the floor and the other leg's going to come up. Now this is where the band comes in, and I haven't got my bands. So you're going to imagine my band is over my foot. I'm going to hold the band in this hand, and it's over my foot, and I'm just going to do little circles. So I do little circles with that foot, like so, and then little circles the other way. And then I might do a few more and make them a little bit bigger and really sweep the leg. So I get a really nice stretch happening in my hamstring. And then the other way. So you go in both directions, just a couple of times. And then you bring it up, and I'm going to take the band, imagine I've got it in this hand, so it's now in the opposite hand, and I draw my leg across my body. So my leg is coming across my body, so I'm getting a big stretch happening in my IT band down the outside of my leg. And I might even actually, as I haven't got the band, just use my hand. So if you have no band, just use your hand to apply that pressure and let that stretch happen. And then take the band back into the first hand and take the leg away and out, or use your hand to pull it out and take it here. So you get that stretch happening. And you hold it here for a breath or two. You come back in, and then you just draw it either with the band or with your hands in towards your face, and you might come up and try and increase the stretch a little bit more and try and hold it there, and then lie back down, so you just get a slightly greater stretch happening. And then very gently you open the band out, soften the knee, put the other foot in, take that foot out, take it long, and now you've got the band in the other foot, around the other foot, and the other hand holding it. You have your elbow on the floor, and you start again. So little circles, like so. So we do those little circles, and then little circles the other way. So you can do this without the band actually, and it does work. It's a different exercise, it's more about the core. With the band is much more about flexibility and stretch. And then we take the leg across, and we take the band either in the other hand, or we use our hand to apply the pressure to stretch out the IT band like so. And you just hold it there, just look the other way a little bit, so you just feel like you're getting a good stretch happening. But do not let your bottom lift up. So this right butt cheek wants to lift up to alleviate the stretch happening in my right leg. I mustn't let it, otherwise I won't get the stretch that I want to get. And then we come back out, we take the band in the first hand, and we take the leg away. Door notwithstanding, it's in the way, but never mind. You stretch out as much as you can. Try and make sure you have enough room to allow yourself to move. Come back into the middle, and then either pull on the band or loop your hand behind and pull the leg in. You want the leg as straight as you can. You come up with your head and shoulders if you can, and then just lay yourself back down. Once you've drawn your leg in, lay yourself back down with your leg in that new position. Good. And then very gently soften that leg, soften the other leg, hand below the knee. You take a breath in, and as you breathe out, you come up to sitting. And then the last 2 stretches that I want you to do, one is the upright press up, which is in the door, and the other one is the calf stretch. So for the calf stretch, you don't need a stair. A stair is useful, but if your daughter doesn't have a stair, if she lives in a bungalow, then it doesn't matter. So I'm going to show you 2 stretches you can do without stairs. Okay, so you do need a door frame. If you don't have a door frame that's narrow enough, so let me just show you. My bathroom door is narrow enough that I can put my hands here, do it this way around, here on the door frame, and then I simply put my hands either side, shoulder height, and I drop down in and I get that stretch because I'm leaning into the door. Or I put my hand here against the wall like so, and I can lean away. So can you see I'm leaning away and I'm getting that big stretch happening. So I do that on one side, and then I would repeat and do it on the other side. For your calf stretch, I'm going to put you down on the floor, so hopefully you can see what I'm doing with my feet. So I'm going to put my foot up against a wall, and this leg goes back. So there's a big open stride. The front leg bends and the back leg stays straight, and you push the wall away. And you push the wall away till you get that big stretch happening in the back leg. Then you lift the heel and you turn it out and you lean into it again. So the back leg doesn't bend, it's the front leg that bends. And then you simply take the front leg backwards and the other leg forward, straighten the back leg, bend the front knee and stretch into it. And then lift the heel and turn it out so you get that stretch happening. And then you can see you've got that big stretch happening there. And that, my lovely, is you done. I hope that all works. I'm going to try and get it to you now. Have fun, enjoy yourself, and see you soon. Love you lots. Bye.